Okay, so finally doing the Q&A fucking video. It's been months, but I needed a break from YouTube because I just had to focus on business, y'all. I had to focus on business growth and everything of that nature. I'm gonna just get into these questions. I wrote them down because I don't have two devices like some people. Yeah, I'm gonna just read off this damn notebook and put the question up here. All right, so let's see. First question: where did the goddess come into play? Okay, that's a good question. Why am I getting excited like I didn't write these damn questions down? Like I seen the questions. All right, anyways, but yeah, that is a good question. So I changed my name in like 2021. I was going through like a traumatic period, just going through some things, was in a dark place for like that entire year and the year before that. You know, I'm class of 2020, so there was that too. But yeah, and I honestly just found myself like getting more spiritual and just trying to like understand the different connections like to God around me and everything like that. I was also getting into IT. I feel like I'm going off the rails, okay, y'all, but it was just like the way everything had connected. All right, so people are like computers, okay? We are like a network. We are all connected to the source, okay? That's just how I'm gonna explain it. We're all connected to the source, and we have the same access to the source and everything like that. And the source shows up within the network. So basically what I'm saying is computers are powered from a source, and computers connect across a network because of the source. So that correlation, computers are very much like people, okay? We are all connected to each other, and the source presents itself through us. So that's where the goddess came into play, because it's more so like, it was a thing like, you know, God is within me and God is within everybody else too. So it's not saying the goddess doesn't mean like I am a goddess, but it means I like exude the energy, I exude the essence, because God is within me. So that's where that name comes from. Yeah, and he's within all of us. So we are all walking gods and goddesses. But yeah, that's where the name came into play. All right, so next question is, in what area of your business have you had the most growth in? So for me, I think I just had the most business growth. Like, there's so many aspects. It's crazy. I actually grew a lot since 2023. I will say I grew financially. You know, I went from having a $0 business to a 5-figure business, so that's pretty good. And like, you know, meaning like I'm not making 5 figures a month, but I'm making a salary off of my business. I can make a salary. You know, I work a part-time job right now, like, because I'm trying to save for things I want. But with my business, I will say I grew in that aspect because I went from nothing and to doing trade for trade and service for service to actually now making full income off of this business. I will say I've also had the most growth like mentally, because oh God, like there's just so many things that happen when you're an entrepreneur and a business owner that I just feel like the real world like doesn't prepare you for. You could try to prepare in school, but like you will really know when you experience. You know, I just grew in terms of like being confident in myself and what I know, and not letting people second guess me. And then even like I grew in, so I feel like I was a people pleaser, and I just used to feel bad for like not being able to do something, or you know, I just always wanted to be available to somebody. I wanted to make somebody happy all the time and things like that. That changed so freaking much within my first year of business, because you will realize like when it comes to money and people are trying to make things easier for themselves to get money, they will use you as much as they can if you let them. And it's not even a malicious thing. It's just because you've shown them that you can use them. Or, I'm sorry, you've shown them that they can use you whenever you want. And, that was all on me. And I think that's where I grew at, is like really setting my boundaries and things like that. Like saying, hey, I'm only available for this amount of time and that's it. Or, hey, like, this is not within my area of expertise. Or, hey, you shouldn't be asking me these questions. There's somebody at your place of work that you're actually supposed to be asking instead. And yeah, those are just the kind of things that I ran into, but I think that's like where I grew most, for sure, in my business. All right, so the next one says, let's plan a shoot. I know you said this like months ago, but if you're willing to plan a shoot, I'm down. I know you're a guy, so no lingerie, no boudoir, none of that. All right, next question. If you could go back and give past you one piece of advice, what would it be? Damn, there's so many things I would tell myself in the past. That's a damn good question. What would I tell myself in the past? Don't settle. Don't settle. I think that's like an overarching theme that I could say for everything I want to say. Don't settle for, certain guys, like just because they come on to you strongly and are consistent. That doesn't mean anything. It could just mean that they just have hella time. Don't settle for, don't settle if your intuition is telling you to do one thing but other people are telling you to do something. Don't settle if you haven't completely gotten a feeling out of your body yet. If you need to talk something out, fight something out, cry something out, do not hold that shit in. Don't settle for, holding your feelings back to appease others. I think those are the main things. Just like really just don't settle for shit. Okay, girl. So our next question is the biggest upsides and downsides of being a transaction coordinator. All right, the biggest upside is that I get to work from home every day. I think I really like that aspect of it. The fact that I do have to go on the phone, but I don't really have to if I don't want to. I mean, it's helpful, to get on the phone and call people, but I don't have to really do it. So most of my job is like emailing, texting, and uploading documents, which I really love that. Another upside is just the amount that I've got to learn about real estate without actually having to be responsible for a client and be in the field. You will be surprised at how much you will learn if you read things that you just like wouldn't think about reading. So like, the real estate contract, which is like one page out of the many documents that you are supposed to have, that is like 16 pages alone. But reading through it over and over again, you learn about contract laws and ways you can help an agent kind of like win a deal or get something better for their client. And like, so this job, it has allowed me to like be a much better reader and comprehensive. Like, it helped me with comprehension as well, like of contracts and things like that. And it made me even more of a reader as well, but it's allowed me to provide more value for my agents and stuff. So I would definitely see that as an upside. Downsides to being a TC, it can get hard when you have a bunch of transactions going on. Sometimes you might end up working all day, and then like you can't always help everybody at once. So that's another thing. Like, everybody is kind of in a queue until you're finished with the task you're working on at the moment. having to ask people for things, to do things over and over again, I think that's one of the most annoying things about being a TC. Like, when you have multiple transactions going on for real estate, you just want to be able to cross off whatever task you have to do for that transaction. So you look at the task, you have to ask somebody to do something to complete it or send you something. They don't do it, that means the task is not complete for X amount of time. And for me, I just like to cross things off my checklist. So that's just really a pet peeve for me because I don't like having to circle back. But other than that, I love being a transaction coordinator. You know, it's a great way to learn about real estate without, you know, being too stressed. My next question. One thing I hate about social media. Boy, I don't even really hate social media, to be honest. But I guess really like the amount of misinformation on social media really irks me, and the amount of people that believe the misinformation really irks me, because are you really not like looking into this and you're just taking it at surface level? Like, that shit really blows me, because you're really just gonna believe what this random person online said or is showing you. Like, but yeah, and it's just really scary how easily like that can be spread and how lies can be spread. And then one thing I also hate about social media is how it makes people think like that they can get away with things, or, you know, things are a certain way, like, or that they can just troll and like get away with it too. Like, people feel bigger and badder on social media. Like, for example, I be on Twitter. I feel like I don't think I've ever seen so much racism and sexism in my life. Like, I think that is just so annoying. And just seeing that stuff, it just really lets me know that people are just truly misinformed. But yeah, it's just them think pieces that have no factual basis that really just get on my nerves. The song that brings you most confidence. Y'all, it's not a song for me. It's a playlist that I curated. I'm gonna leave it right here. But it's the playlist I listen to when I get ready, when I am already cute and I'm on the way to the event, when I'm out with my girls, whatever. Or if we come back too, like, but yeah, you know, it's a playlist for the girls and gays, but I listen to it year round or whatever. Okay. Next question. If I could dress a celebrity, who would it be? I'm not really a stylist type of person, like dressing other people. You know, that's an interesting question, because it's just, I actually am not really interested in dressing other people. I don't know why. I'm just not really interested in finding clothes for other people. But I guess if I could throw somebody out there, probably Doechii. Yeah, probably dress Doechii. Okay. One place I would never visit again. Well, West Virginia. Probably Panama as well. Dayton, Ohio. You know, sometimes I think about not going to LA again because I was just so bored the last time I went. But maybe I just didn't get a good experience, so maybe I'll let that one slide. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much like the only places I would never really go back to, honestly, because all the other places, I mean, I really enjoyed, so, but yeah. Worst traveling experience. Okay, so actually I can get into why I would actually never go back to some of those places. That's a great follow-up question. All right, so West Virginia. The reason I'll never go back to West Virginia is it's just scary as fuck. It's scary. You got mountains. The mountains are gorgeous. The views are gorgeous. But then when you're having to drive the mountains, though, like having to go downhill is crazy. Then it'd be foggy, and then you don't want to be caught driving at nighttime, and then you worried about trucks behind you because you don't know if they are accelerating too much, like, yeah. But for me, I was honestly scared as fuck when I went to West Virginia. Um, and I didn't want to even be there. That's the thing. I was just supposed to be traveling through West Virginia. So basically, I was on my way to a music festival in Chicago. And unfortunately, I drove from Virginia. And I ended up losing one tire. So that day, we were already stuck in Lexington, Virginia. We had to stay the night and then wait the next day for a tire shop to open. And we ended up getting a tire fixed. Get back on the road. Now we are in West Virginia. And when I tell you we spent all day in West Virginia because another whole completely different separate tire decided to pop and went the fuck flat. And trying to pull up to a gas station. The gas station ended up being abandoned. There's yellow tape all over the doors. The air didn't work, yada yada. I will say, thankfully, there was a nice trucker that pulled over and offered to call a tow for us and try to get air in the tire. And then I will say it was also a blessing that the person that towed our car towed it to Walmart for free. But when we got to Walmart, we ended up having to wait there for like a few hours. I'll say like a good amount of time. Me and the person I was with, we were the only black people in the fucking Walmart. I have never seen a Walmart where I was the only black person there. And the way people were looking at me, because I'm not dressed regular, like I'm dressed ready to go to a damn festival because the festival was that day. We were supposed to be there. I had a leather bra top on, like some leather pants or something, black cap, green hair, full face of makeup, stomach out, belly pierced, septum. Like, I just looked like a fucking city girl, like, you know what I mean? And they was looking at her like, ugh, fuck this nigga doing here. It was like, ugh, get this black city girl out of our goddamn city. But yeah, I don't know what was running through their heads. I know they thought I was looking crazy as hell. I looked so out of place, like it was not even funny. But that's why I would never go to West Virginia again. I just didn't like the vibes. It was giving like Gravity Falls. The reason I will never go back to LA again is because, well, I might go back to LA, but I was on the strip and I just feel like people are just trying to sell. And it's like, okay, if I'm gonna deal with that, I might as well go out the country. Like, you're not about to trick me out of my US dollars to pay something in US dollars. So, no. The reason I would never go to Panama is just because it was just low-key boring. Like, there's not a lot of touristy things to do. They have like an island tour and things like that, and then you have the Panama Canal, but like that's it. They're not. And then they have like their ancient town where they do the clubs and stuff, but everybody's like a wall hugger, so it's not really even that fun. Now on to the next questions. Favorite type of modeling to do? I like to just do like photo shoots and stuff. I tried runway, but I hated it. And it wasn't because like, of what it was. It was just like every time I tried to do a show, it was always unorganized. They would always have us show up like a ridiculous amount of time early. Like the show would start at 6 and they would ask you to show up at 10 in the morning. Just for us to literally be event fillers. Like, they think we don't know, but we're literally just event fillers because 9 times out of 10, the models are the only people there at the event. And yeah, it's just the disorganization. Like, I've dealt with a lot of lack of rehearsal, lack of preparedness. For me, like, that's just too chaotic. And I don't want to deal with all of that just to walk for, like, 30 seconds to a minute. Like, it's just not worth it to me. So I'd rather just stick to photo shoots. I like putting set designs together. I like putting outfits together. I like posing, you know what I mean? I love a good edit as well. maybe retouches, but like I just like really cool edits, like where we play with the colors, the lighting, you know, green, whatever. What inspires my style? Pinterest for sure. But everybody has their own aesthetic on Pinterest, so that's like not really a good answer. But I think my style, it's like I really like the alternative girl aesthetic, but I also like the office iron aesthetic as well, kind of mixed with a little bit of Y2K. So I think that's just kind of where I'm at. Like I'm kind of like a gothic office siren from the 2000s. That's my style. Next question. Is anyone concerned for their health? At this rate, no. It's very obvious. Next question. Can you do vids on how to refresh wigs? I see a lot of bad wigs. Friend. I mean, I can definitely do a wig video. But it's more of like I'm like lazy a little bit sometimes with it. Like I've definitely gotten better. Cause I used to be a bad wig wearing bitch. Like when I tell you lace was out, lace was lifting, all of that. But I could do a tutorial, but it's kind of like a lazy girl tutorial. I'm more of like a tie the elastic, lay the edges, hot comb type bitch. Nah, try to stay away from glue as much as possible because I feel like that's when it gets fucked up. But yeah, maybe one day I'll do a video. Next question. What drives you to get up and perform every day? Well, I'm gonna be honest, to flex on the haters. I think for me, like being an entrepreneur, I think it's just realizing that, I don't know, I kind of realized early on that a job is not going to give me what I want. It's not going to give me the life I want. That's not to say don't have a 9-to-5 though. Like if you have a 9-to-5 that pays you very well and you're happy with the benefits and the hours and everything like that, stay for sure. Just for me, I just haven't been able to find that. And, if I'm a person that doesn't want to be in the job field forever, I'm going to start a business. Like that, I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, I just get up and perform every day because, like, I want to be able to provide for my kids when I have them, or if I have them, because I still don't know about that shit. But yeah, I just want to be able to like be secure, and I didn't come from like a poor background per se. Like I was definitely dealing with some stuff early on in my childhood that was like a struggle, I'm sure, for my parents. But I will say, like, once we hit middle school, it was just up from there, and my parents are building generational wealth, and I don't want to be the black person. I don't want to be the person that can't continue that, or ruined the generational wealth and spent it all, especially because a lot of black families don't have it. So yeah, that's one thing. So I want to continue my generational wealth. I feel that the 9-to-5 is not for me because it won't give me everything that I want. But I still do have a job. I have a part-time job, and I'll probably work in some way, shape, or form. But I just don't want that to be like my career and what I do for the rest of my life. And I just want to flex on those people that like underestimated me, because it happens a lot. I get underestimated a lot, and that's okay. I'm keep underestimating me so I can prove you wrong. Like that's just how I see it. You know what I mean? And it's just maybe I'm sick, but I enjoy it. I enjoy proving people wrong that underestimated me. Next question. How was the dick last night? Well, I know you asked this a couple months ago, but I got it last night too. And you know how it was. Oh, you know how it was. All right, my last question, 5 pet peeves. All right, so first pet peeve, definitely like people that don't do their research. Like I said, those people that kind of believe misinformation and just kind of go with like whatever instead of asking like real questions and looking into things first. Like people that are closed minded, I think that's like my number one pet peeve. Like I will not even really want to talk to you that much. Yeah, that's my number one pet peeve. My second pet peeve, honestly, if anybody was like raising their voice at me, or any sense of condescension or like raising your voice at me, I don't know, like that shit will turn me up. Like just don't come talking shit. Do not throw jabs my way. I hate subliminals. Like, do not be, yeah. You know what? Let me rearrange that. I don't like passive aggressiveness. If there is an issue, I would like for it to be like addressed, and then we don't need to dwell on the issue. Like, we need to solve it after that. Okay? We need to address, understand, and then solve. I'm not one to sit in a problem, you know what I mean? And I'm not one to like go through obstacles figuring out what the problem is. Like, you need to just tell me. So yeah, I just don't like passive aggressive shit. Just be direct. Like, I'm okay with that. I'd rather see that, like, so I know what's coming. You know what I mean? I know what to expect. Yeah, I don't like that shit. Number 3, yeah, we'll just put raising your voice at me, as number 3. Don't fucking raise your voice at me. I'm quick. Cause, I don't know, you know how there's something called fighting words? That's a fighting tone to me. So I just don't like that. My 4th pet peeve, if I'm getting ready to, roll up or relax for the night and I'm missing something, like the lighter or the wrap or the paper, but I have everything else. If it's just like one thing missing, I don't know, I'd be like so annoyed because I'd just be ready to just do it, get it over with. And the 5th thing that annoys me, I think like when people ask me for too many things at once, like getting overwhelmed, and like when I don't get time to do things. I guess like antsy people that like just don't understand that I have others to help. You know what I mean? Like, of course, you know, I'm willing to give somebody my full time attention to help them and my fullest efforts. But if you are just trying to like take over and not let me do anything else, that is so fucking annoying. Like, let me breathe, let me solve the issue, and let me help others. But yeah, that is my Q&A. Comment below if y'all would like a part 2 to the Q&A. Ask more questions. Honestly, I'm probably not gonna be posting as consistently as I was at the beginning of the year, just because I have, the way my company is structured, I have a parent company and a child company, so like, you know, I kind of just gotta lock in with one thing, be consistent and focused until I can break out of it. But yeah.